Picture one morning, just one. You open your eyes. The chains are still there. They were always going to be there. The rock beneath you hasn't moved. The sky is the same bruised color it was yesterday. And you already know what's coming because it came yesterday, and the day before, and every single day for longer than you can calculate. You hear the wings before you see it. The eagle lands on your chest, not your shoulder, your chest. And it doesn't rush. It never rushes. It finds the same spot it found yesterday, and it begins. And the worst part, you're immortal, so you feel everything, every second of it. And when it's done and it leaves, your body heals itself overnight, perfectly, completely, so that tomorrow morning it can happen again. This was Prometheus, every day, for 30,000 years. And when he was finally freed, when someone asked him if he regretted it, his answer was no. That's the story nobody on this channel has told yet. Not the theft, not the chains, the why. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to find out 3 things that change this entire myth. Why stealing fire was never actually about fire. What Zeus was genuinely afraid of. And it wasn't Prometheus escaping. And the one secret Prometheus protected for 30,000 years that directly caused one of the greatest wars in human history. By the end of this, Zeus is not going to look like a king. He's going to look like a man running from a prophecy he couldn't outthink. To understand what Prometheus did, you need to understand what the world looked like before he did it. The Titanomachy, the war between the Olympians and the Titans, had just ended. 10 years of warfare so catastrophic that the earth itself cracked. Zeus won. The Titans who fought against him were thrown into Tartarus, the deepest prison in existence, and chained there permanently. Prometheus had been a Titan. He should have been in that pit. He wasn't, because he had seen the outcome before the first battle. His name literally means forethought. He could read futures the way you read a room. And he had looked at both sides of that war, done the calculation, and made a choice. He fought with Zeus. So when the dust settled, Zeus kept him close, trusted him, gave him and his brother Prometheus the task of populating the earth, creating animals, distributing the gods' gifts, building the living world. Prometheus went first, and Prometheus, whose name means afterthought, was exactly that. He gave speed to the tiger, size to the elephant, strength to the gorilla, flight to the birds. By the time he finished with the animals, every physical advantage the gods had offered was gone. Prometheus looked at what was left. No claws, no armor, no speed, no wings, just clay and water and the image of a god. So he shaped man upright, the only creature on earth that walks like a god. And he gave them the one thing his brother hadn't thought to give the animals. Fire, not warmth, not cooking. Fire, the ability to forge weapons, build walls, survive winter, create medicine, wage war, build civilization, the single resource that separates a creature that survives from a species that dominates. Zeus saw what happened immediately, and he was not grateful. Zeus had a vision for humanity, subservient, cold, dependent, looking upward to Olympus for everything they needed, a species that worships because it has no other option. Prometheus had a different vision, a species that one day might not need the gods at all. These two visions could not exist in the same world. Zeus stripped fire from humanity. Prometheus stole it back, hiding the flame inside a hollow fennel stalk to smuggle it past Olympus undetected. When Zeus saw the fires burning across the earth again, this wasn't just defiance. This was war. Here is what every version of this story skips. Zeus had unlimited power. He could have killed Prometheus. He could have erased him. He had done it to stronger titans with less reason. He didn't. Instead, he chained him to a mountain in the Caucasus, alive, immortal, conscious, and sent an eagle every single day to eat his liver, alive, regenerating, alive again. That's not a punishment. That's a holding cell. Zeus needed Prometheus breathing, needed him on that mountain, needed him in pain but reachable, because Prometheus knew something that terrified Zeus more than any army, any rebellion, any weapon. He knew who would destroy him. The prophecy existed before Prometheus was chained, before the fire was stolen, before any of this. The Fates, the three women who wove the destiny of gods and mortals alike, who even Zeus could not override, had spoken a truth into the fabric of existence. Zeus would father a son, and that son would overthrow him, exactly as Zeus had overthrown Cronus, exactly as Cronus had overthrown Ouranos before him. The cycle wasn't coincidence, it was fate, and it was coming for Zeus next. But there was a condition. This son would only exist if Zeus fathered him with a specific woman, a goddess Zeus was already pursuing, already obsessed with, a sea nymph of extraordinary power named Thetis. Prometheus knew her name. Zeus sent his messenger Hermes to the mountain, more than once, offering deals, threatening worse punishment, trying every angle a king of gods could try. Prometheus refused every time. In the ancient texts, he told Hermes directly, "There is no force that can compel my speech. 30,000 years. The eagle came every morning. The liver grew back every night. Hermes returned with new offers." Prometheus said nothing. Think about the power dynamic happening on that mountain. Zeus, controlling the sky, the sea, the earth, the gods, reduced to negotiating with a chained prisoner who had nothing left to lose. And the prisoner was winning. Every morning, Zeus woke up not knowing if today was the day he would accidentally sleep with the wrong goddess and father his own destruction. That fear, sustained, unresolvable, inescapable, was Prometheus's only weapon, and he used it for 30,000 years. When the truth finally reached Zeus, through other channels, through enough time that the information surfaced, he acted immediately. Thetis was given to a mortal man, a human king named Peleus, because a mortal father meant a half-mortal son. Extraordinary, yes. Legendary, yes. But not a god-killer. That son was Achilles, the greatest warrior in human history, the engine of the Trojan War, the figure around whom 10 years of the most documented conflict in Greek mythology revolved. None of it exists without Prometheus refusing to speak on that mountain. The Trojan War is a consequence of his silence. When Heracles finally freed Prometheus, killing the eagle with a single arrow, Zeus allowed it, not out of mercy, not out of respect, because the information was no longer dangerous. Thetis was already married. The prophecy was already contained. Prometheus had protected a secret that no longer needed protecting. He had held for 30,000 years, and by the time he was freed, his silence had already changed the world permanently. The Greeks who built this myth lived under rulers who controlled through fear, who used punishment not to correct, but to suppress. What they embedded here goes beyond mythology. Prometheus represents the one thing no empire, no tyrant, no god can confiscate: what you know and choose not to say. His chains were real, his pain was real, but his silence was always completely his own. Some cages exist not to punish, but to silence. He proved that silence cannot be forced, only chosen. So here's where I need your mind. Prometheus could have given Zeus the name on day one. He could have traded it, walked free, and spent eternity without the eagle. He didn't. Was that love for humanity? A refusal to let Zeus win? Or had he held so long that letting go became impossible? That the secret became the only power he had left, and he couldn't release it even if he wanted to? Drop your answer below. I'm reading every single one.